guys are watching Nimona. This is a brand new Netflix original film that was actually canceled originally at Disney and Blue Sky Studios, but got saved by Netflix. So thank you, Netflix, because now we have a really good animated film, which is about a knight in a futuristic medieval world who is framed for a crime he didn't commit. The only one who can actually help him prove his innocence, though, is Nimona, a mischievous teen who happens to be a shape-shifting creature that he himself is sworn to destroy. This stars the likes of Riz Ahmed and Chloe Grace Moretz, and like I said off the top, I really like this movie. I don't think it's one of the greatest animated films, nor do I think it's one of the most life-changing ones, but it's one that I quite enjoyed and thought was an absolute blast that I wish could have been released in theaters. But with that said, diving into this movie, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Were you excited when Netflix saved this movie? Did you even know that Disney had originally canceled this one? Let me know down below in the comment section, as well as make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more movie content on a daily basis. We got two channels for my movie reviews. We got Zach Pope Reviews and Zach Pope Expanded. Zach Pope Expands, where I do kind of some smaller reviews that maybe you guys have never really heard of. I don't like when those ones get overshadowed, but that's where you can find those over there. So with that said, let's dive into the pros, and my number one thing is the voice performances do a lot for this movie. I actually found that Riz Ahmed and Chloe Grace Moretz do such a great job bringing these characters to life that you really do start to forget that they are those actors. Those are two notable actors for me that I can instantly hear their voice and realize who it is. But for this film particularly, they do some unique things with their voice that actually made you fall for them and start to go, oh, wait, this is Riz Ahmed. Oh, wait, this is Chloe Grace Moretz. And the way that they play these characters out works so well. The other thing that really works so well is, of course, their chemistry. At first, they're not really feeling each other, at least more on the Riz Ahmed side. But as he starts to get to know her, and you really start to understand both parties and where they come from, which is actually one of the best things about this film as well, you really, again, understand how they could come together as one. While this film definitely deals with those themes of judging a book by its cover and that book being completely wrong when you judge it by its cover once you finally get to know it and read into it, this film has that same stuff as well. And particularly what they really do so well in this film is the two main characters you have here. You have this knight who's named Ballister Boldheart, something like that, played by Riz Ahmed. And when you look at his character and what he's going through, and in general what he has now lost after he's been framed for a crime he didn't commit, that is a lot of stuff. But as you get to know his characters, as you get to know his relationships, as you get to know everything that's kind of gone before he met, of course, Nimona, his life has been altered and changed forever. But his one way of thinking is now altered and changed once he meets Nimona. And Nimona itself, when you first meet her, you're like, oh, this is a fun, zany, ADHD teenager that can shapeshift into a bunch of creatures and wants to get into trouble. But why does she feel like she needs to be the villain of this story? That's because people have been judging her by a cover her entire life. And there's a certain montage sequence where you get to see her past. That is a very emotional part that I think for anyone who's ever felt like an outsider will instantly relate to. And I think in nerd and geek culture, a lot of us have always felt like outsiders at times. And I felt really much for that, whether again it was Moretz's performance or in general the animation that they were able to stylize in there. That montage itself was beautifully animated, and so is the rest of the film. I actually really like the animation that they went within this style of filmmaking, and it wasn't anything that we've really seen from, again, Blue Sky Studios when they were originally on it, or any of the other Netflix properties, or any in general if you look at Disney, Sony, Warner Brothers. I mean, the animation is very unique and wholesome to itself, and I really enjoyed that. As a sidetrack, I forgot to mention this. I know this movie is based on a book. I actually found that out yesterday when I was walking around Walmart before I recorded this, but I haven't read the book, so please let me know if you like the book down below. I think that's where Nimona really excels, is because its humor is also excellent in every sort of department. There's one line in particular where Nimona changes into some sort of creature and it freaks everybody out, but it's hilarious in the way that it ensues and plays out in there. And the action in all the animated scenes are fabulous, and they're fun. And again, this is just a highly entertaining movie that actually really has an emotional depth to it. Like, by the end, I was trying not to cry, and this film definitely does give you those tears to feel. When you get animated films, I feel nowadays, a lot of the time the characters are not as deep and fantastic as they were in here. And that was probably one of my favorite aspects of the entire film, was truly that. But let's get down to my cons, and these are just more nitpicks, if anything. And one of those things is the world building. I felt like the world was really cool, but they just didn't spend too much time exploring it. I understand maybe they sidetracked that for more of the characters, but there were certain times where I was like, okay, like I'd like for them to dive a little bit deeper into the world, the mythology, and everything like that. It's very surface level to its approach, and this is just a really unique world that I would have liked to know more about. As well, the film's a tad bit too long, I think. Maybe it was just kind of the pacing of the film. Maybe it was just there's a couple of scenes that I would have taken out. Overall, though, this is a really good movie. I think it was great that Nimona was saved by Netflix, because for me, this film is greatly directed by Nick Bruno and Troy Kwan. It's also just greatly acted and voice acted by Riz Ahmed and Chloe Grace Moretz. And for me, this is a film that I think does deserve everyone's little chance. It has great animation, it has great action, it has fantastic characters. And specifically, it is a highly entertaining movie that will make you emotionally enveloped within these characters. And that's something to say, that because when this film started, I didn't think I was going to. I was like, this is going to be a fun animated film, but I think I'm going to end up forgetting about it. And it's been 5 days since I watched it, and I'm still thinking about it. So that's to say something. Nimona's a great movie, and you should absolutely check it out. So with all that said, I'm going to give this film a B+. Thank you so much again, guys, for watching this. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Leave your guys' thoughts down below. And of course, until next time, stay classy.